Our next topic is interconversion of matter. Now, what is the meaning of interconversion of matter? Interconversion means change of state. Now, we have already studied that there are three states of matter. First one solid, second one will be liquid, and the third one will be gas. Okay, we all are aware of this. Now, according to this table, you can see the arrow marks are given there. This arrow marks will be tell you from which state you are getting converted into. First thing, you can see here I have drawn a small box. In this it is written solid. Now if we have to convert from solid to liquid, the process name will be melting. For melting, I have an example for you. For example, you take some butter, okay, but we cannot directly eat that. So what we have to do, we have to just convert that butter into liquid. So what we do, we heat. Now when you are heating, the butter melts into liquid. Or another example you can take, in Diwali we are lighting candle, okay. Now those candle, what we have to do, just you light it, and what happens, all the wax starts melting, okay, in form of liquid. So from there also you can understand the process known as melting. Now just a reverse of this, if we are moving from liquid to solid, the process name will be freezing or solidification, okay. For this also one example is there. Everybody is having a refrigerator at home. Now what you do, you have to make ice, then you take out the tray, the ice tray from the freezer. In that you pour water, and then once again you insert inside the deep freezer. Now after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, according to the cooling, okay, what will be happening, that liquid will be getting converted into solid, and that process will be known as freezing or solidification. Now coming out to the next step, from liquid how it is getting converted into gaseous state. Now see here children, the process of conversion of liquid to gas is known as boiling or vaporization, okay. For example, you take a bowl in which some water is kept there. Now what you do, you keep on the gas stove and you heat it. When you are heating, after some time you will be seeing that some fumes are coming out. That fumes will be termed as steam. In other word, what we can say, it is gas. Now see here, if we are talking about boiling and vaporization, it will be the process of conversion of liquid to gas. Now in the reverse order, if gas is to be converted into liquid, the process will be known as condensation. For this also, there is an example. If your mother is cooking food in the kitchen, and if you go there, the utensil in which she is cooking, she covers it with a lid or with a plate. Now what you do, you just open the lid. When you are opening the lid, you will be seeing on the surface of the lid small droplets of water are there. Now this thing is happening only because, as we know, the steam are moving upward because the steam is lighter. But as soon as the steam is moving upward, it comes in the contact with the lid, and what happens, that steam condenses, and from there only the process name has come condensation. So gas can be converted to liquid by the process of condensation. Now the last process is how we can convert solid to gas. Now that process is known as sublimation. Now for this, one of the example is, you take a camphor during the puja time, and then for aarti we have to burn it. When you are burning, you will be seeing straight away the smokes are coming out. Earlier you have seen that the kapoor is in square or rectangular shape. But when you provide heat, what happens? That solid is getting converted into gas, and that process will be known as sublimation. Okay students? Now reverse of this, if we are coming to gas and then converting it into solid, the process name will be deposition. Is it student? We will be studying the difference between solid, liquid and gas. Now see here, if we are comparing solid, liquid and gas, we have to see the following parameters. The first one is shape, second one is volume, third one is fluidity, fourth one is density, and fifth one is compressibility. So one by one we will be understanding what is the property related to shape for solid, for liquid and for gases. Now first, shape. Solids are always having a rigid shape, okay, it will be having a rigid shape there. Now why we are saying it is having a rigid shape? Because in solid the molecules are very tightly packed, and when they are very tightly packed they are having a fixed definite shape. Okay, we can also write here definite shape. Okay, now coming to liquid. In liquid what happens, the molecules are little apart from each other, and when it is apart from each other the shape of liquid will be, okay, different as compared to solid. Here it takes the shape of container. Okay, so do remember this. The same thing happens with gases, because in gases the gap between, for example, this is one of the molecule, this is the another molecule. In solid they are just in contact with each other. In liquid they are having some gap. Okay, and in gases there are plenty of space in between them. So here also gases are having plenty of space between the molecules, so it also it takes the shape of the container. Okay, so first property is clear to you all. Now coming to second one, volume. For volume, solid is having fixed volume. Now in liquid also the volume is fixed. Okay, all these things are related to intermolecular space and intermolecular force of attraction. So after completing the difference between solid, liquid and gas, we'll be coming to that topic only, so don't worry. Third one is, for volume, gases do not have fixed volume. Okay, it takes the volume, or it will be occupied in some container, so that will be its volume, but it will be not fixed. Now coming to, now student, our next property is fluidity. Okay, now fluidity means the tendency or the property of a fluid to flow. Now according to solid, in solid what happens, the molecules are very tightly packed, and when the molecules are very tightly packed it cannot flow. So here the property will be solid cannot flow. But if we are talking about liquid, the liquid can flow, but the direction will be from higher level to lower level. Always we are seeing that the water is flowing from a upper height to a lower height. Okay, now coming to the gas. In gas what happens, the gas can flow in all directions. There is no restriction for gases. Now next property is density. Now in order to understand density, what we have to see, we have to see a relation which you have already studied in physics. Density is equal to mass per unit volume. If mass is increasing, the density is also increasing. Now see here, in solid what happens, the molecules are tightly packed, and when molecules are tightly packed their mass is more, and when the mass is more the density will be also more. So here for solid the density is high, for liquid the density is low, and for gases the density is very low. Okay, now coming to the next property, that is compressibility. Compressibility means how much a particular substance can be compressed. Now if I am taking this marker is in solid state. Now I cannot compress this. Okay, that means the compressibility here will be very low. For liquid, compressibility will be, okay, slightly compressible. That means you can apply less amount of energy or force and you can compress it. And the third one, for gases, it is highly compressible. Okay students, hope this is clear. The differences are very important for your topic because this will be straight coming in your exams.